everybody? It's Harley Funk, and I love professional wrestling. As you know, we've all been covering the Backlash series. WrestleMania Backlash 2022 is a week from Sunday, so we're getting all set up for that. I've got a lot of content coming up. Please make sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to keep up with all the content. I apologize for the quality of the last couple videos. I've been using this OBS camera app thing. There's been a lot of freezing, a lot of stuttering. I'm not really quite sure what was going on with that. I'm still kind of a rookie at all this video stuff. But I am trying out a different app on this. We're going to see if the quality improves. But yeah, off that, let's go on to Backlash 2001. That is going to be our topic for today. It's coming off the greatest WrestleMania of all time. I'm talking about WrestleMania 17, which I was in attendance for. There's a lot of hype for Backlash to be able to uphold the standard that WrestleMania 17 had set. Let's see if they did it. And we are in a wrestling city. We're in Chi-Town, baby. I lived in the Chicagoland area for quite some time. Dude, we love our wrestling. We're noisy as hell about it. So WWE, they packed the Allstate Arena in Rosemont with about 15,592 screaming WWE fans. Buy rate on this bad boy is around 375,000, which is actually considerably down from last year's Backlash, which their buy rate was around 650,000. Now, after such a stellar WrestleMania like 17, I'm kind of wondering why the buy rate was so much lower for this one. But I'm going to go through the results. We're going to talk about some of the matches, whatnot, and then at the end, I'm going to rank the matches based simply off of my enjoyment of them, not for how technically prowess these guys are, just how much entertainment did you give me. That's how we rank the matches around here. So you guys ready to roll? Let's take a look at the results. Now, I didn't see the pre-show, so I'm just going to list some of the results for that, and then we'll move on to the main card. Pre-show match number one, you've got Jerry effing Lynn defeating the WWE Light Heavyweight Champion Crash Holly for the title, 3 minutes and 37 seconds. And then we probably never saw Jerry Lynn again. I don't know. That's just an absolute travesty. I don't know what the WWE had against Jerry Lynn. He's an amazing worker. He's a great hand. He's got a great mind for the business. I know I've talked to him several times. He would have been a great fit with the talent that was in 2001. He had such an amazing run at ECW. They put a belt on him, and then I'm not even sure if he actually even defended the thing on television after that. Oh well, that was WWE's loss. They could have had a good star out of Jerry Lynn during this time, I think. Your other pre-show match is going to be Lita defeating Molly Holly in about 2 minutes and 40 seconds. So that's it. That's your pre-show. Title change and a quick ladies match, and that is it. We are off to the main card. Our opening 6-man tag match. You got X Factor, X-Pac, Just Incredible, and Albert defeating Dudley Boys and Spike Dudley in exactly 8 minutes. Dude, I forgot how awesome X Factor was. Just Incredible was just a damn beast in this match, both offensively, his selling looked greatness, X-Pac looked good, Albert looked good. This is just a tight little faction that just, unfortunately, I don't know, just didn't last. It's almost too bad for that. I really do think X Factor could have been a very cool triple threat style faction for the WWE that they could have actually gotten some mileage out of. But I don't know if they just had something against maybe Just Incredible at that point. Just Incredible's got a ton of haters. I'm not one of them. In fact, actually, I think the guy's criminally underrated. I thought his role in ECW was fantastic. He was just such a shit heel in there. His feud with Tommy Dreamer was great. I think Just Incredible could have done better in the WWE. I'm not sure why he didn't. He's a great dickish heel. X-Pac and him could have had a great run with the gold. Dudley's, of course, very legendary tag team. Great to see Spike Dudley in this as well. It's been a couple years since I've hit this era. It was nice to see Spike Dudley again. And, you know, I am surprised at how freaking good this match was. Everyone, and I mean all 6 of them, worked their asses off in the match, especially these guys at X Factor, though. They put on a solid opener. They got that all-state rowdy-ass Chicago crowd ready for the whole rest of the night. Bubba eats a couple terrific super kicks, loses the bout for his team, and we are on to the next match. Your second match of the night is going to be Hardcore Champion Rhino defeating Raven in 8 minutes and 11 seconds. Now, this was an interesting match, meaning that I'm watching a match. I've got my little notepad out here, just taking some little bit of notes during the match. And at the very beginning, I'm thinking, oh, you got all the plunder. This is like that WWE light extreme PG-13 style violence, which pretty much comes across more comical than it does to me than anything else. And I thought that's where they were going with it. And then Rhino and Raven, I think somewhere in this point, probably talked to each other during the match and said, you know what, let's just beat the shit out of each other. And then Raven wallops him with some nasty-ass sign shots. They really just turned up the intensity in the hardcore match, beat the ever-living crap out of each other. And I got into it then. I'm like, okay, they are playing to the Chicago crowd. They know they wanted more than what they were giving them. They amped up that intensity, and Rhino and Raven put on a hell of a hardcore match. A lot better than that six-man hardcore match from the year prior. Maybe not as good as Al Snow and Hardcore Holly from '99, but this one still stands up pretty damn good. Rhino gets to win with the Gore! Yeah. Shane McMahon put on probably one of the best promos of all time after this. I loved it. It was that Shane and the Beanstalk story. Which way did he go? Yeah, Shane McMahon, class in this promo, just completely, this is just a legendary promo for me. And William Regal in the next segment. William Regal is a freaking national treasure. When he looked at the Duchess, he go, don't talk to Jonathan Coachman. He's a commoner. I lost my shit. So, yeah, William Regal, fantastic. Shane McMahon promo, fantastic. We're off to the third match. This is going to be your Duchess of Queensberry match. William Regal takes the win over Chris Jericho in 12 minutes and 34 seconds. Now, Jericho and Regal, I think, had the absolute best opening match in WrestleMania history. And they followed up with another great match on this pay-per-view. And you know what? With the, Duchess of Queensberry rules, this match really could have gone off the rails a little bit. But Jericho and Regal, they both put their working boots on. And they said, you know what? Whatever stipulations we got, we're still going to put on a good match. Case in example, when you look at this last Monday Night Raw, Bianca Belair and Sonya Deville had their match. Sonya Deville, of course, still kind of an authority figure or whatever her role is right now. Just kind of changing the rules of the match as it was going along. Kind of like what was happening in this Duchess of Queensberry rules match. Unfortunately, I don't think the Belair-Deville match was really that great from this week. However, this Regal and Jericho match was fantastic. This one, definitely worth checking out. You got two professionals in the ring. You got a little bit of screwery going on. They worked their asses off. Crowd ate it up. Regal hits Jericho with the steel chair after Jericho puts the Duchess in the walls of Jericho to get the win. Regal in this era. Love Regal in this era. Your fourth match. Chris Benoit and Kurt Angle. Now, Chris Benoit defeated Kurt Angle 4 submissions, 2-3, sudden death overtime. It was a 30-minute ultimate submission match. Official match time on this was 31 minutes, 33 seconds. I was a little bit concerned going into this one. I'm not the biggest fan of submission-based style wrestling. I'm definitely not your MMA guy. So I kind of thought this match might end up being a little bit boring for me. Kind of like Ken Shamrock and The Undertaker from Backlash '99. Thankfully, that was not the case here. I was wrong. Mark your calendars, folks. I was wrong. Their chain wrestling was off the chain in this one. These guys matched each other move for move. They had intensity. The crowd was into it. Just, they owned everybody for 30 minutes straight. It's not an easy task to do, especially in a submission match, but Benoit and Angle know exactly what the hell they were doing in that ring. They know how to tell a story, and this match is definitely worth going back to Backlash 2001 to check it out. Benoit gets Jericho to submit to the crippler crossface in sudden death. So we're going a little bit off the technical thing now, and we're going a little bit more hardcore. Fifth match in, Shane McMahon defeats The Big Show. Last man standing match. Match time 11 minutes, 55 seconds. Now this match was something else. I've said it earlier, I'm going to say it probably through a whole lot of videos. I flew down to Houston in 2001 from Chicago. I saw WrestleMania 17, the greatest WrestleMania of all time, in person. Flew back to Chicago. I really should have bought tickets to Backlash because I was right there. I could have seen Shane McMahon dive to his death, or almost his death, live and in person, and for some reason just didn't get tickets for this show. Crash pad or not, the dive he did off that Titantron was insane. Shane McMahon's got balls of steel. There's some of these things that he does in these matches I wouldn't even thought about trying. I don't talk about it nearly enough. Shane McMahon, you're crazy. You didn't have to do half the stuff you did, but thank you for doing it. Your dad better be calling you on a daily basis and thanking you for putting your life on the line for his company. This is a great follow-up to the technical-based Benoit Angle match. You got some of the brawling, you get Test to show up, and then, of course, the Titantron jump. This, out of anything... when you look at Backlash, up until this point, this was the high spot of Backlash. This is the thing that's going to make all the highlight reels, was Shane's dive off the Titantron. And really, if you look at this show so far, what, we're 5 matches in, there hasn't been a dud on this show yet. This has been a great show so far. So, of course, Shane hit that jump. Test helps him up, props him up on the camera thing. Shane wins the last man standing match. Off to our 6th match of the night, European Champion Matt Hardy defeats Christian and Eddie Guerrero in a 6 minutes, 37 seconds is what it was. These guys, they got kind of the death spot. This is the wind down spot of the show. You had to follow Shane's high spot there. This very much felt like a TV match. This would have been fine on a Raw or a SmackDown. It's not quite the pay-per-view caliber match. It was also really odd with the 3 members that were in this European title match. I'm not sure exactly how that all came about. I don't really remember the TV coming up to this pay-per-view. Something we'll visit at a different time. But yeah, not a very big pay-per-view caliber match. Granted, the match itself actually was still solid. They still did a good job with the 6 minutes that they had to work with. Just compared to the rest of the show, this one, just like I said, it's kind of like that wind down period of the pay-per-view as we got ready for the main event. Matt Hardy hits the Twist of Fate on Christian for the win to retain the European Championship. It's main event time, folks. Your WWE Champion, Stone Cold Steve Austin, WWE Intercontinental Champion, Triple H, defeat the Tag Team Champions, Brothers of Destruction of The Undertaker and Kane, for the titles in a match where all the titles were on the line. Match time on this was a whopping 25 minutes and 2 seconds. Now, WrestleMania 17, Austin turns heel, joins with Vince. I'm not sure if I necessarily like the Austin turn, but I also don't think they put enough into the Austin turn to see it actually through. Austin tried like hell to get this heel turn to go through, but the crowd just wasn't having it. They didn't want Austin as a heel. But I was getting into this power trip team of Austin and Triple H. They had one of those beatdowns that was on the Hardys and Lita that I actually still to this day remember. It's been a long time since I've seen it. But that was like really just uncomfortable to watch. Austin was in full-fledged, I want to be a heel mode, and he was doing everything he possibly could to get it to go over. And you know what? I think if they put a little bit more time into it, of course we rushed into this invasion bullshit, they would have given the Austin heel turn a little bit more time. Austin was a good enough worker. I mean, he was a great heel as Stunning Steve. He was already doing some of the Stunning Steve stuff in this match. It's like he was begging off and he's trying to shake the guy's hand. You know, stuff that we didn't really see Stone Cold ever doing because he just wanted to fight. He took some of the Stunning Steve stuff from that heel run and tried to incorporate it into this, but also keep a viciousness of the rattlesnake. And he seemed very violent. He's like that violent Texan that you just, you know, you cross the street as he's coming towards you because you don't want to get your ass beat. So this match here, the main event, following the traditions of the last two main events on Backlash, registered basically as just merely okay for me. It's nothing too bad. The match itself wasn't bad, but 25 minutes was a lot of time. They weren't able to hold the interest that like a Benoit and Kurt Angle were able to do during their 30 minutes of time. Honestly, if they probably would have made this match under 20, it would have been a lot better. Like I said, not a bad match, not the reason to go back to watch this show. There's a lot of other things on this show to come back to watch, like the first 5 matches. So yeah, guys, fantastic ass pay-per-view. Best Backlash so far by a mile up to this point. This is the 3rd edition here. Just about every match delivered. There's something for everybody on this show. 2001 up until where they, like I said, they completely fucked up the invasion angle. We're going to go into that in future videos. We will get into that, I promise you. But right now, 2001 up until that point was just great stuff. Worth checking out. WrestleMania 17, Backlash 2001. Definitely check out those 2 shows if you haven't seen it. So let's do it. Let's rank the matches. This one's hard because there's just so many good ones, but let's do it anyways and see what we come up with. Of course, use the comments below if you guys have seen the show. Rank your matches. I'd love to see what your ranking is. I'm going to go all Sean Chandler here. My list isn't the right list. It's just my list. But this is my list, my rankings for Backlash 2001. Your last place, number 7, is actually going to be the main event of this show, which is, of course, Brothers of Destruction, Undertaker and Kane, going against the 2-man power trip of Stone Cold Steve Austin and Triple H. Number 6, got Matt Hardy versus Christian and Eddie Guerrero. Number 5, Dudley's and Spike Dudley versus the X Factor. Number 4 spot goes to the hardcore match between Rhino and Raven. Your 3rd match, Shane McMahon, Big Show, last man standing match. That jump, like I said, is going to be on the highlight reels for Backlash for probably ever. 2, we've got Chris Jericho and William Regal in the Duchess of Queensberry match. And for your number 1 spot, that one's going to go to Chris Benoit, Kurt Angle for their freaking awesome 30-minute Ultimate Submission match. So there we have it. So soon, we're going to be covering Backlash 2002 as we lead up to WrestleMania Backlash 2022. Once again, if you're watching this currently, it's going to be a week from this Sunday. I've got a lot of other stuff coming up on this channel. Just get ready for it. I was a little lapsed on the current wrestling product. I'm starting to get into it now, watching all the promotions, trying to get caught up. So I'm going to be probably reviewing some of the current TV coming here shortly, so get ready for that. My takeaway on current professional wrestling right now, I got to say, is All Elite Wrestling. AEW is just off the hook. Probably the best promotion I've seen since the glory days of NXT. And before that, probably ECW, the original. AEW just, at this point, doesn't seem like they can do much wrong. So if you haven't been keeping up with AEW, check that out. Wednesdays is Dynamite, Fridays is Rampage. And they've got a big pay-per-view coming up next month, which will be the month of May 2022. And that's going to be headlined by CM Punk and Hangman Adam Page. I am pumped up for that one. I cannot wait to watch that, get a review out there for you guys. So, I said it earlier, I'll say it again. I'm a huge professional wrestling fan. I've been obsessed with it for most of my life. So if you are too, if you're just like me, if you love professional wrestling, you're in the right spot. Hit that subscribe button. Keep up with the content. Give me a thumbs up, tough guy, if you like the video, and I will see everybody next time.